I think all three presenters have shown that, well, 5G, of course, meets the most critical KPIs on security, availability, handover, latency, all of that. But interesting enough, as Gilles has shown from Omron, there's also Wi-Fi. And as you were showing, Hervé, there still is IoT and LoRa and all sorts of other standards. So we would be the last ones to advocate that 5G is the only standard. There are other wireless standards. In all fairness, 5G is the most superior one in terms of performances. This also, I'm looking at the chat. I can see that there's already an interesting discussion going on between François Courcel and Grégoire on latency measurements, which is brilliant. It's perfect. That's what webinars are for. So you guys have found one another. Talking of 5G, and we discussed this also in the preparation. This is a question to all three of you. Of course, to ideally automate a factory, you need your system integration, your robots, your machinery. However, you would not want to be the 5G provider yourself, right? You would like the factory owner or a system integrator or a service provider to run 5G for you in that factory. And would you then impose or articulate your requirements? What do you require from that network in order to be able to automate? Starting with maybe you, Gilles? So your role, what would you see as your role there? Because, for instance, Grégoire mentions federating the ecosystem.
Yeah, the ecosystem.
Want to be a 5G operator in the end, right?
No, we are not 5G operator at the end. We manufacture technological bricks. These bricks are integrated by a company like MGA. So system integrators integrate these bricks inside factory, end user factory. But as you said, we need an ecosystem. When we want to address to customer needs, we need to have an overview. It's not only selling a mobile robot, we are selling an intralogistic solution. So an intralogistic solution requires connection between autonomous mobile robot or AGV, machine, IRAL network, and IT people. So in this ecosystem, we have to check what is the best way to communicate in between all these means. And it's here where sometimes we need to propose 5G. And here it's nice today, we have these three types of company. Omron is a 7 billion company building technological bricks. MGA is a system integrator, and Amada is an OEM, large OEM.
Yeah, that's why you fit together quite nicely. What's your comment on this, Grégoire? Because you already mentioned federating the ecosystem, which implies that you're definitely not going to be a 5G operator yourself. You want others to take that role.
Yeah, of course. But as Gilles said, if you want to make everything work together, you have to play the full ecosystem and to play all the bricks together, because we can't just say, okay, you have one thing and play with it. Our role is to make everything work together. So sometimes we will have to say, yeah, for your application and for your needs, we advise you to go to find a 5G network to make everything work as you want.
Yeah. Here I have to underline the works of system integrators. The system integrators are the company makes things real, makes things working. So it's very important to deal with system integrators.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they're almost a missing link in the market. Capable system integrators. I think there's still a gigantic need for more of those.
And that's a problematic and putting a telecom world in an industrial environment. It's a new world. We talk a lot about IT and OT, and now we have to get telecom world in this place, and this will be the huge part of it.
Yeah, as Grégoire was showing in his laboratory, he's using Cellnex. Maybe not everybody in the audience knows Cellnex, but Cellnex is an enterprise wireless operator. They will operate a wireless network for you with the equipment from a Nokia or anybody else. So they'll provide you with a 5G service for your factory without having to be an operator yourself. Okay, to round off our discussion, and I think your three cases are perfectly aligned. You're talking at an OEM of bricks and robots, a system integrator, and an end user in terms of heavy industry and sheet cutting. Let's talk performances, because all of you have been hinting at 5G and why you would need 5G, superior roaming and handover and everything. As a system integrator or a robots manufacturer, would you be able to articulate your KPIs? What performances you require from the 5G network in terms of latency, milliseconds, throughput, etc.? Is that something you could specify for somebody else to provide that network? Starting with you, Gilles.
Our KPI will be addressed to our technology. We'll not be able to say to IT, a telecom integrator is KPI. But for us, when discussing with a customer, it's the productivity of the things we are selling. If the communication is cut, as it's autonomous mobile robots among operators, the robots could stop. Sometimes, so because you don't have the next mission or there's something wrong, so the bad communication could impact the productivity. So our KPI are regarding productivity of our own means, but the reason sometimes could come from the telecommunication of the synchronization between these mobile robots.
Yeah, and you, Grégoire?
Sorry.
Allez-y.
No, sure. I share the comment because I think that we have to think about. I don't know if it's difficult to specify KPI regarding, my opinion, as an EOM, let's say latency, this kind of thing. But for sure, there is target, not lost any data. That's quite sure. Avoid to have breaking, let's say, transfer information. So in fact, it's the availability which need to be at the highest level in the case of Amada, for instance.
Grégoire, you want to comment?
No, it's I just maybe one more thing with the 5G private network. I think we don't know yet all the possibilities of a 5G private network. It's just the beginning, and so we still don't know where we're gonna go. If it's possible to do all what we want to do, so we have to dig a bit more just to understand how it will work.
Well, that's definitely the case, and that is why Firecell is selling starter and test kits, so that industries can actually sniff on 5G and try and test and see what works and what doesn't work, and etc. Just because we're at the end of the webinar, a brief question to all three of you. Looking at the ecosystem and federating the ecosystem and system integrators and operators, what roles are still missing in the marketplace? Is the ecosystem already complete? Anyone wants to comment?
It's not a matter of completion of the network today, it's a matter of use cases. Sometimes use cases are coming when people are handling the technology. When they're handling this technology, they start to have new ideas, and then use cases are improving a lot.
Yeah.
Today, the promotion should be done about what you have what you could have in your hand and what you could imagine. We could not imagine all the things customer will do with this new technology.
Sure. I will say the same thing as Gilles. The presentation I've done for Amada, we have also other, let's say, experiment field, such as the connected glasses. Connected glasses for and so augmented reality for maintenance of a machine. If the layer of the network, the 5G network is there, it's an opportunity also. So starting from a big use case, which is the AGV, as soon as the 5G layer is there, as Gilles said, you have other opportunity to develop a new use case for the 5G. Sure.
Yeah, that's a fair point. In actual fact, there was a seminar not too long ago where Ericsson explained that over half of the networks they sell are trials and tests and POC and experimentation networks, precisely as you guys say, for people to experiment and find out what other use cases they could serve once they have 5G. Okay, we're 3 minutes past the hour, so we promised everybody to keep this to 1 hour. I thank our 3 speakers from reputed industries on their interesting presentations, very well aligned. We had the integrator, global robotics provider, and the end user case. As it was mentioned in the chat, there is this French white paper that Grégoire mentioned, and Firecell will launch another white paper on private 5G before the Hanover Fair, so the next 2 weeks. Keep an eye on the website of Firecell for that white paper, and keep an eye on the website of Firecell for next webinars. We've done 2 so far. This was the second one. The first one was on academia. And we'll do more webinars on hospitality, manufacture, various particular verticals over the next coming months. So keep a look at the website for more of them. Everybody's welcome. Invite your friends. I thank the audience. I thank people in the chat for the questions posed. I thank our presenters once more. If this was live, I would hand over like a bouquet of flowers or a bottle, but it's not live. I can't hand over anything. Thanks once more. Hope to see you all. And thanks to the audience. Have a great Easter weekend.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.